Hey, Circle. Welcome back to Unplugged. Let's go ahead and get right into this. This was one of those conversations that I wasn't really trying to have today, but something just kept compelling me to present this. So here it is. Here it is. I can't ever recall feeling this worried about the future of our country. And judging by what I'm seeing and hearing all around me, I'm not alone, people. But I guess the question is, are we overreacting, or is this the beginning of something that we can't undo? Now, as Generation X, we grew up with Cold War fears, economic recessions, and watching history unfold in front of our eyes in real time. I know we all remember the fall of the Berlin Wall and the Challenger explosion in the mid 80s. But for some reason, and I can't put my finger on it, this time just feels different. Now, is this just what getting older feels like, or are we watching something collapse right in front of our eyes? Well, let's discuss it. And a lot of Gen Xers are saying the same thing. You know, we've never felt this level of concern about the future of this country before. And then don't get me wrong, we've been through some things in our time, like the Iran Contra scandal, Gulf War, 9/11, the 2008 recession. So we're no strangers to chaos. We actually thrive in chaotic environments. But people, for some reason, and I don't know why, this time it just feels different. And because for the first time, people aren't just mad at each other anymore. They're actually starting to give up. And when you hear that people are starting to give up, that means we've reached a crossroads in this country, people. Because once a society stops believing in itself, the decline of that society just speeds up. And not only that, we're seeing people talk about burning it all down. And they're talking about it like they really, really mean it. And we're even hearing talk that democracy itself in this country might not survive. And we're seeing corporations enter into business before. That's never happened before like that. And every time there's a win for the people, that the system finds a way to snatch it back from us. So I ask you this, people. Is this just normal generational panic, or have things actually changed in such a way that it should concern us all? And if America truly is shifting, where's it shifting to? But more importantly, do we still have control over that direction? Or have we already passed the point where everyday citizens can still change things? And if we do still have that power, do we still have the time to do something about it? And they say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. Well, simply put, that means history follows predictable patterns, very predictable patterns. And people, we're heading towards a familiar, dangerous pattern. We are. And we as Generation X were taught to believe that America could never fall. But let me ask you this. How many other countries thought that same thing before they fell? And people like to bring up Nazi Germany as if it was a one-time thing. But what about the rise of other one-party rule regimes? And remember, people, dictatorships don't always happen overnight. Sometimes they happen in slow motion, in real time, and right in front of our face. Yep. And let's face some tough, hard facts here, people. Democracy is being tested more now than ever before. You know, corporate money is influencing and running politics now more than ever before, any time in my life. And social media is causing a divide in this country like nothing I've ever seen before. You know, and the biggest problem is people aren't just frustrated anymore. They're actually starting to shut down. And it's like their fire's gone out. I mean, we're getting numb and disconnected and drained. And it's not just from all the commotion and noise happening around us, it's from each other, people. You know? And that's how the system starts to break down. And if we don't wake up now, how much worse does it get? And what's the next step after people stop trusting elections and the government and each other? And if this ship truly is sinking, do we still have time to patch the holes, or is it time to find another lifeboat? And Generation X has always been skeptical. I'll give you that. You know, we were raised in that whole figured out for yourself generational mindset. That's just who we are. And we don't trust easily. And for the most part, we don't fake outrage just to get attention. You know, if we say something is wrong or something is going on, that's usually because there's really something going on. And not to mention, we don't trust easily. No, we don't. But here's the thing, people. At some point, skepticism turns into apathy. And that's how things start to fall apart. So it's easy to check out, you know, but if we do check out, aren't we just handing over the future to people who have no problem whatsoever shaping this country into something that we don't recognize? So now I ask you, fam, where do we go from here? And what's left that's worth fighting for? And do we try to fix the system, or do we try to build something new? And is Generation X ready to step up, or are we just too damn old and tired? I'm not here to tell you to panic. That's not my style. That's not who I am. I'm Unc, and hey, I simply present you with the facts and let you make your own decisions and make up your own mind. But I am going to say this: if Generation X can see a problem, and we clearly can see a problem, then we need to start having some hard discussions today. Because if we don't, the people who don't care about us, they sure as hell will keep making decisions for us, and you can best believe that is a future none of us wants to see. So what do you think, Circle? Drop a comment down below and let's continue this conversation. I think we have a lot more to talk about. And are we seeing a decline of America, or are we just getting older? And what's the biggest thing that has you worried right now? And more importantly, what can we do to change it? Well, thanks for pulling up a chair with me today, family. You know, there's discussions you want to have, and there's discussions you don't want to have. And then there's discussions that you just absolutely need to have. This is one of those discussions that we absolutely needed to have. And I thank you for coming by. And you know, you're always welcome here. And if this message touched you, resonated with you, whatever, please, by all means, share it with somebody who needs to hear it so we can start having this conversation that we need to have. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. And let's continue to build our village. I mean, I'm really feeling this. Let's continue to build our village one voice at a time. And if there's anything you want to say or add, drop it in the comments and I'll get right back with you. Well, family, as always, take care of yourself and each other. I'm Unc, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.